Hi, Wondering Souls. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this pick a card love reading. Today I'm going to get into the energy between you and your person, and also your person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions, and of course some guidance for your situation. So hopefully you saw the thumbnail, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the piles. So group one, we've got this little packet of cards here, and then rose quartz. This is your rose quartz. And oh my gosh, chrysocolla. Hopefully I'm saying this right. And a clear quartz to get some clarity. Okay, and then group two, we've got this chunk of fluorite and a chunk of clear quartz. It's kind of a twin quartz formation. And then a little chunk of rose quartz. And here's your stack. I want to take a look at the stack. I'm going to redo my setup one of these days. But right now my house is discombobulated. Pile 3, rose quartz, and some amazonite. And all these green crystals, you know, they're good for the heart chakra. Rose quartz also great for love. And the clear quartz is for clarity and purification, I would say as well. Oh, and group 3 here is your stack. All right, so I'll put timestamps down below. Meet me at your pile. I'm gonna move this lamp out of the way so I don't burn myself. And I'll see you there. Thanks. All right, group 1, welcome to your reading. Here is your rose quartz and the chrysocolla. This is one of my favorites. It reminds me of like a little speckled robin's egg. And your clear quartz. I can't remember if it's this one or the group 3 crystal that I found on the ground in Egypt. So it's got Egypt powers. All right, so let me see. I've got this little love spell for you, but let's do that later. I want to open up with a card from the Tarot de Mantegna. I love these cards. I've been using them a lot. This is a deck that the images came from the 15th century, so pretty shortly after the printing press had been invented, I guess, and scholars think that these cards were used mostly as like flashcards to educate people, but Giordano Berti has put together a little guidebook that goes with these. Hopefully I can find it because I'm gonna need it, I'm sure. Oh yeah, and so he put together some divinatory meanings. He's really dug into the symbolism of the cards. And look what you've got. I just noticed it's Venus, the goddess of love. And that's her bathing in the river with her 3 graces nearby, and Eros as well. And then there's the swallows flying in the sky. Maybe doves too, I think, but they look like swallows to me. We might have 2 of each. All right, so let me read about this from the book. Well, that's a good start to a love reading, right? And Venus. And in this deck, she's card number 43, so that reduces to a 7. And it says, Upright, the card represents love, sensuality, joy of life, sense of friendship, artistic inclinations, and an important choice in the emotional field. Reversed, it could mean excessive sentimentality, uncontrolled passion is what I would say, complicated relationships, susceptibility, misunderstandings, and stubbornness. So I like to read both the upright and the reversed meanings because for me, there's a lot of people who might be watching this and lots of different situations that it could apply to. And even in any one given situation, you kind of have to look at both sides of the coin, in my opinion. So Venus has been described in the Libellus by Albricus in the same way in which it's depicted in this card. A young and beautiful girl, naked and bathing in the sea. In her right hand, Venus holds a shell and is accompanied by flying doves, while in her presence there are 3 naked girls called the 3 Graces. 2 of them have their faces turned towards the beholder, and one is in the opposite position. Cupid, son of Venus, winged and blindfolded, appears and wounds Apollo with his bow and arrows. Oh, so it says that he's wounding Apollo. That's how Albricus describes him. Okay, interesting. The 4 doves in the sky arranged in a cross could be an attempt to impose a link with the Christian faith. Astrology considers Venus as the planet of love, beauty, women's games, poetry, and song. And furthermore, this planet evokes ideas of sensuality, passion, and artistic inclinations, and its metal is copper. The suggestion is to direct your drives for creative purposes and to manage feelings in a sincere and conscious way. Oh, that's some good love advice. And then we have the mouse and the buttercup, innocence. Oh, that's so sweet. I love these woodland warden cards. So the mouse and the butterfly, and that's card number 0, like the Fool. So maybe there's a new beginning for you guys in group 1. Like the Fool in the tarot deck, the mouse and buttercup is numbered 0. Both cards mark the start of a journey, and both remind us that we have much to learn. Mice are grounded and innocent, yet anyone who has dealt with a mouse in their house knows that they are determined and highly adaptable. The mouse is paired with the humble buttercup, a symbol of childhood innocence. Have you ever held a buttercup under your chin? According to a centuries-old children's game, if the reflection of the flower glows yellow on your skin, it reveals that you like butter. I've never heard of that before, until I got this deck. I've read this card before, but that's funny. Upright. This could mean you may be embarking on a journey or starting down a new path. Remember that innocence and a lack of understanding are not negative qualities. Instead, they remind us of our capacity for growth, adaptability, and learning. In reverse, it can mean you may be unprepared for what you undertake. Consider how you might adapt and learn to better lay the groundwork for future endeavors. And questions to ask: what do I hope to learn on this new path, and what potential dangers should I look out for? Okay. This sounds really exciting, group 1. All right, I'm gonna save that one for later. Okay, I'm gonna start out with the Sexual Magic Tarot, and I'm gonna do a Pyramid of Love reading to check in on the energy between you and your person. And if any of these are appropriate to show you, I will, but some of them are not. Oh, and also, about the audio. I'm so sorry. I used to have this dongle thing that I could attach the mic to my phone with, but I lost that. And my darling ex-boyfriend Joe gave me this nice new camera, but I can't figure out how to use it. I don't have time for the learning curve right now. So this is what it is. Oh, and they're doing construction outside, so it's one of those things. All right, group number 1. What is your energy in this situation? Okay. And what is your person's, hold on. Group number 1, what is your person's energy in the situation? Okay, and then what is your person's energy towards you? And what is your energy towards your person? And this could be like the way you're thinking or feeling about them, the way you're seeing them. We'll see how it comes through. And what's the passing energy of the situation between you two? What's the passing energy? Okay, I don't want 3 cards. Let's just get one. The passing energy. Gosh, okay. I guess there's a lot. I thought this was a new beginning, y'all. Well, maybe it's one of those water under the bridge, but now you're gonna try again things. I don't know. All right, what's the current energy between you two? Okay. I'm gonna reveal these later. Okay, what's coming next? All right. And what is the highest guidance for you right now? Okay, so group number 1, your energy in the situation is the 5. Oh, I'm not supposed to show you this. Probably, yeah, no. It's the 5 of Wands. All right, so that traditionally means confusion, a little bit of chaos, maybe a little bit of conflict. And there's a figure here, he looks like the magician to me because he's got some magical implements. He has a mirror, a cup, there's a pot with verbena and wheat, and a torch here as well. That's for the wands, I guess. But he's looking out from behind a curtain at a couple that's doing it. So I don't know if, I mean, that could mean a third party situation, but a lot of these cards feature imagery like that. So I don't necessarily think that has to be what it is. It could also just be like kind of like you're trying to gain a perspective, get some clarity on a confusing situation. And 5 of Wands could also mean playfulness. So maybe there's sort of like some game playing going on here. All right, what's your person's energy? Okay, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. I think that one's okay to show. So there's the Knight of Pentacles. And he's offering someone a green lemon, so it's just not quite ripe yet. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight, so he has sort of a slow approach, sustainable energy. He's in it for the long haul, but it looks like that fruit is not quite ripe yet. So maybe there's something that's going on kind of slow moving here that's causing some confusion, maybe a little anxiety on your part. So your person's energy towards you, we've got the 3 of Cups, and in some decks, you know, sometimes in a traditional sense, the 3 of Cups can indicate a third party situation, but in this particular deck, it's showing a couple, just one man and one woman, and there's a little egg at the bottom wrapped in red ribbon, so that indicates like new beginnings, pregnancy, fertility. So that the 3 in this sense is talking about like two becoming three. You know what I mean? Like creation between two people. And then we have also the Five of Pentacles, which the traditional meaning of the card is like loss and sadness and isolation, but in poverty. But in this card, look, there's a man and a woman and a violin in the background. We've got white roses and red roses. It's a little more romantic, and it's about finding harmony. So I feel like maybe there's some confusion here about where this is going. Like on your part, you're wondering where things are going. Maybe it's moving kind of slow, but it seems like your person has good intentions and hopes for this connection, in my opinion. So your energy towards your person is the High Priestess. So you're keeping quiet, keeping your thoughts to yourself, keeping things hidden in your heart. All right. You're staying in your power. I like that. I like that, group one. All right, so passing energy between you two is the Nine of Cups. So in this card, they're having like a heart-to-heart discussion. Maybe there was some sort of a conversation. There's a lantern for clarity. But it did come out reversed, so maybe that conversation, you know, maybe there's still some confusion left behind, some things left unsaid. Like something needs forward movement or momentum here, it sounds like. Sounds like there was a beginning, but it didn't really go anywhere. That's what I'm getting. And then the current energy between you two is the Wheel card. I don't think I can show this one, but it has the three morai, the three fates, and there's a wheel as well. So it's about change, time changing things, big changes. So something is happening. There is some movement going on underway here. And what's coming next? The Four of Wands. Oh, that's such a great love card. It means reunion. And in this card, it means, in this deck, it means playfulness. There's a couple sitting on a swing. And there's also like coffee beans on the ground. And this card, the coffee beans are like the magical symbol, which symbolizes hospitality, you know, getting together for a cup of coffee kind of thing. So keeping it light. So whatever's happening next is not going to be some sort of serious long-term meeting, I don't think, but it's going to be kind of a light-hearted get-together reunion. Although it does seem like your person has, you know, long-term on the mind and is seeking, like, you know, we have this card with the little egg. Like, I think that there is, you know, their long game is they want to start a family if you haven't already, and or take care of any children involved, and then to find harmony in the situation, harmonizing between your two worlds, right? And then the highest guidance here is the King of Cups. And the magic here is the spiced tea. So again, I feel like, and I think this card has to do with banter. I think that's the meaning in this particular deck. So yeah, the idea is just to keep it light, approach it with a beginner's mind. This is a new adventure. Who knows where it's gonna go, but to have fun and take it one step at a time. You don't have to rush into anything. All right. I like your energy, group one. This is fun. This is a fun energy. All right. And I myself have not been in a fun energy lately, so you're pulling me up out of my pit of despair. Right. So I want to look into your person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you. They're really going at it with the construction out there. I don't know what the heck they've been doing stuff out there for months. I don't know what is going on. It has something to do with like the fiber, Google Fiber or something. All right, so your person's thoughts. What are your person's thoughts towards you, group one? And what are their feelings towards you? These are all coming out upside down, so I'm gonna reveal them later. Oh, except for these. What are their feelings towards you? And their intentions. So much coming out. They had a lot of intentions. It's like they've been putting a lot of thought into this, I think, and they've got a lot of intentions. Let's see. What are their intentions? See, I'm hearing to get one more, so here we go. All right. So what are your person's thoughts towards you? 9 of Cups, that came out again. So they're remembering that conversation that you guys had, whatever it was about. And then we've got the 3 of Pentacles. I love this one. It's so cute. And the magic of this card has to do with the earthenware pot in the back. And that's about providing a container for the passion. So it's a really passionate card, but also recognizing that, you know, you've got to kind of keep that passion grounded if you want to keep it from burning out, right? You don't want to crash and burn. You want to keep that fire going, right? And then we've got the 6 of Cups. So they're remembering you fondly, nostalgia, wanting reunion. Look, there we have little doves at the bottom, more doves. All right. So that's sweet. They have really sweet thoughts about you. That 3 of Pentacles also, you know, the traditional meaning is about coming together, creativity. It's really similar to the 3 of Cups meaning in this deck as well. And then their feelings, so we have temperance. They're trying to stay balanced, trying not to let that passion get out of control. And the Tower, so they're this is where that passion is getting out of control. There's someone who's really jealous like your person may be jealous, thinking that you're seeing somebody else. Maybe if there's been some time of separation and silence, so that's kind of driving them crazy. Excuse me. I don't know what that sneeze, you know, what does that mean? When your tarot card reader sneezes, probably means something Okay. And then, oh no, we've got the Three of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. Your person's a little... Their feelings are complicated. Their thoughts are really nice, but their feelings are like complex. So the Three of Swords, that's about heartbreak. And in this card, it's like, I had such a strange feeling from this card. It's like, I feel like someone's trying to be really controlling here, or like to keep you under their spell. There's a lot of like spell work going on in this card. So I think they feel like they want to like keep you somehow. And then in the Two of Pentacles, this guy's like creeping up behind this girl, like trying to sneak up on her. It's really weird. And I think the meaning of the Two of Pentacles is embarrassment. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but like, I think there's like a little fear on your person's part too. You know, like they have some insecurities. They have some insecurities in their feelings, and they're trying to temper it out and come across like a stable option. But I think they're afraid that you've got other options, and they're jealous. They're jealous. But they're trying not to be, because they've got temperance. You know, they're trying to stay balanced and behave themselves. So their intentions towards you, the Chariot, they're going to be moving towards you. I don't think I can show this card. It's pretty naughty. And then the King of Pentacles. Okay, so the King of Pentacles, the meaning of this card in this deck is fear, and the king is like, it looks like he's like yelling at this lady, and she's really scared of him. So, and the Chariot is also like about domination. It's like he's trying to be really dominating and controlling in this situation. So watch out for that. And I think they're trying, I think this person's fears are causing them to want to be like controlling in the situation, to get control of the situation, you know, which a little bit of that, you know, we all probably all have that, but if it's a lot of that and they don't have it under control, they're not, you know, they need to employ this temperance, right? Because, you know, it's one thing about like power dynamics in when it comes to like, you know, fun times in the bedroom, but like if they're trying to control every aspect of your life, then that's no bueno, okay? So next for intentions, we've got the Two of Wands, which is such a sweet card. I think this one's okay. You're just sitting together, breaking bread, talking, connecting, having that conversation. So this is like the continuation of that conversation you guys might have had a while back. And then we've got the Emperor. And also, you know, the Emperor represents stability. And this Two of Wands card always makes me think about stability too. They've got this table, the floor, the roof over their head. They're protected with all their weapons hanging on the wall. They've got their, you know, the food on the table, everything they need, you know. So I feel like your person is intending to be able to provide for you, you know, with the Emperor and the Two of Wands coming out together. But they have a lot of insecurities under the surface too, and the Emperor also can be kind of controlling in his shadow aspect, so watch out for that. And the Ten of Wands. So Ten of Wands is about responsibility. That's its traditional meaning, taking on burdens. But this card's really sweet. It's about the union of the woman and the man. Let me see, what does it say? What does it say? Where's the, let me look at the guidebook here. And you don't have to be a woman and a man to watch these readings. You can be whoever you are. But in this card is shown a woman and a man. Okay, so it says, penetrating the magic of the toad. There's a little toad in the foreground. And the toad is a lunar symbol representing yin, yang, water, earth, because, you know, the toad goes between the earth and the water. It also represents fertility and transformation. So that's another fertility sign for you guys. And Venus started out the reading. She's the goddess of fertility. So if that's what you're after, that's a good sign. If not, you know, it sounds like this is also a very new relationship, or if not new, it's like it's something from the past that's coming back and starting over. So be careful, okay? And then it says, the power of man meets the power of woman. Success and love must meet both partners. Exciting. Your reading's really exciting, guys. But it does sound like your partner or your person is a little insecure, a little possessive, a little jealous of your other options. And please use protection, because y'all know how things are around here, so you gotta be careful. Okay, so let's get some guidance. And I'm gonna use the Santa Muerte deck for your guidance, I think. So the Three of Wands, another 3 card coming out. The Three of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. So your guidance, looking towards the future, the big picture, what is it that you really want out of your relationship, out of this relationship, out of a relationship, you know, does this relationship align with that? And then with the Three of Pentacles, it's about he's watering these flowers. Okay, I guess I can show you these. So this is the Three of Wands card. And then the Three of Pentacles card, he's watering the flowers. So it's about what you want to grow. What do you want to invest your time and energy in? Spending time on your projects, your own creative projects. And the Seven of Wands is, I always think of it as the choose your battles card. Again, that's more about like deciding what's worth putting effort into versus just what you should surrender to. And knowing that the effort can be great. But I'm going to actually, for that Seven of Wands, I'm curious what it says in this book. I have all these new decks that I'm kind of getting used to, and the Santa Muerte and they all have good guidebooks, but they all have, like the Santa Muerte and the Sexual Magic Tarot decks both have slightly nuanced meanings compared to the traditional meanings. So the Seven of Wands, a moment of a great rush of energy, openness, and growth towards the heights. The Seven of Wands brings with it collaboration, actions, structures that are already complete and formed, but precisely for this reason, if the tendency is towards excessive conservatism, it could cause discussions, indecisions, and friction. So it's like things are growing, things are advancing. There's something already established here, but like, you know what this is making me think of? There's this lady named Katrina Boss. I really love her. She's got some good videos about like the tantric path on her channel, and I think her channel is Katrina Boss, BOS. I think that's where you find her. It could be the Satya Yoga Academy, but I think she's under Katrina Boss. But she was talking, she has a video about how to not be an octopus. And that's what this is reminding me of, because she says in that video, like, okay, the problem when you become what causes you to become an octopus in a new relationship is that you start forming in your mind all the things that you and this person are going to do together, all of the activities you're going to do, the life you're going to lead, and yeah, I was just telling you to think about what you really want out of this relationship, but don't think about it to the point where you're like planning it all out without any input from the actual other person, right? So you need to like actually just take the relationship where it is right now, this new beginning, look at it from a beginner's mind, innocence, and see this person for who they really are, appreciate them for who they are at this time, in this moment, and go from there, right? So this could be advice for you, but I also think you need to be aware that your person may be doing that octopus thing, like they were very possessive, controlling, like a lot of that was coming through. Like they have all these plans for y'all's future, the fertility egg, the Knight of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Chariot, all this stuff was coming out about all their plans for y'all's future. But have they included you on those plans? Keep that in mind too. Okay, so wait, I don't know if I read the advice. There's advice of the dead here. Let's get the advice of the dead. May they rest in peace. Let's see here. Okay, so it says, make a decision quickly, even consulting people around you in order to proceed and go ahead, as this is not yet the time to put down roots. Okay, so making a decision quickly, I wouldn't be rash. I wouldn't suggest that you make any rash, life-altering decisions, but I do think it's time to kind of, when I say make a decision quickly, I'm thinking in this situation, that means staying in the moment, and being decisive in the moment, meeting the moment as it's required, and not putting down those roots and attaching yourself to this situation when it hasn't even ripened yet. Like you need to just take it one step at a time and make those quick decisions as they come along. Cross those bridges when you come to them, That's how I'm taking it. All right, let's get some quotes out of the quote bag. I haven't done this in so long. I've been missing this. All right, so we have a quote from Sheryl Sandberg, and it says, "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" These are getting so worn out. What would you do if you weren't afraid? I think your person needs to ask themselves that question too. Oh, wow, how cool. This is a synchronicity. We have Joseph Campbell, and it says, "Follow your bliss and don't be afraid." That's the answer. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Follow your bliss and don't be afraid. All right, I love it. Okay, so I want to close out with this little love spell. Song of the Siren spell. I don't know if you've ever heard the Song of the Siren. It's beautiful. It's a Tim Buckley song, I think, but this Mortal Coil does this beautiful, really emotional cover. I definitely suggest listening to that song. Okay, it says, "Mermaids and sirens are extremely erotic symbols, and each one of us can conjure their power. Buy a pound of sea salt at a grocery store and place it in a bowl with 10 drops each of jasmine and neroli or ylang ylang essential oil. Mix them together. Instead of a shower in the morning, take a bath with your siren salts. While submerged, visualize that you are turning heads with your mesmerizing mermaid beauty and silence. When ready, rise up and do not comb or towel dry yourself or your hair. Drip dry naturally." I don't recommend that. If you've got hair like me, you gotta comb, girl. But okay, you're gonna have some seaweed looking hair if you don't comb while it's still wet. As you go through the day, do more listening than talking. The compliments and attention will amaze you. Oh, I love it. That sounds nice. This sounds like a good day. That sounds like a good day to me. And I've got more than a pound of sea salt. I bought like this 50 pound bag of sea salt. There's this website called Saltworks, and man, it took me like hours to make a decision on what kind of salt to buy from these people, but I did. So I'm like halfway through that thing too. I'm gonna have to invest again soon. Okay, well, thank you so much, Group 1. I really appreciate you being here. I hope that you found these messages entertaining, if nothing else, but hopefully you got some insights as well. And yeah, if you like this channel, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and I hope to see you again sometime. Take care. Thank you. All right. Hi, Group 2. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so you chose the fluorite chunk and this piece of rose quartz and this clear quartz crystal. Kind of like two conjoined crystals here. And here's your little packet of cards. I'm going to start with the card from the Tarot de Mantegna Ladenspelder deck, and you have Rhetorica. There she is. And so Rhetorica is about the art of persuasion. So I don't know if you're trying to persuade somebody into something, or if they're trying to persuade you and you need to be able to discern through their rhetoric. We'll find out more as we go along. We also have from the Woodland Warden's deck, the Lizard and the Pitcher Plant, Stagnation. And that pitcher plant, it's one of those, what are they called? Carnivorous plants. What's up with that? And then also with the lizard, you know, when the lizard has the ability to drop its tail and then regenerate it, so that might be important too. So I'm going to read what that card says from the book. If I can find the booklet. And this is card number 12. So that's like the Hanged Man card from the tarot. So like, that's weird. It's like, there must be some sort of a silence here or a pause going on. Okay, it says, the carnivorous pitcher plant traps its prey within its leaves. The lizard, which may occasionally find itself ensnared in a pitcher plant's trap, has come to represent death and resurrection, as it possesses the unique ability to drop its tail when stuck. A new tail can grow in the old one's place, although it's never quite the same as the original. Upright, it says, you may be feeling stuck, frozen in place, or without an escape. Reflect on the lizard's ability to shed and regrow its tail. There may be things in your life that you can leave behind, making way for new growth. And in reverse, I like to read both of them, upright and reversed. It says, this indicates a lost opportunity. Remember that it's okay to pass on some things, but before you turn away, ask yourself why you may feel averse or disinterested. What fears, if any, inform your decision? What could I drop in order to feel like I'm moving forward again? What's going on with you guys, group 2? All right, let's check into the energy between you and your person. I apologize for the audio. My microphone, it's not on. I don't have the little dongle. You know, that really irritates me how they started making these phones without headphone jacks, and so the microphone I have won't plug into the phone because who knows where that $40 dongle went. And they're doing construction outside. Sorry. Okay, so group number 2. All right, so group number 2, what is your energy that you're bringing to this love situation? Okay, we've got the 10. Oh, there's a lot. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what came out, but I'm going to redraw this one because there's a lot. We got the 10 of Wands, the Devil, and the Queen of Pentacles. So that Devil's showing up. That's a toxic energy. I'm afraid something's not good here. All right, let's see what your energy is in the situation. Group number 2. Where is your energy? 5 of Pentacles. So the traditional meaning of the Five of Pentacles can mean loss or separation, isolation, poverty. But in this deck, it's a little bit different. You see this man and woman embracing. There's a violin in the background. We've got white roses for new beginnings, agape love, pink roses for romantic love. So I think that your energy is that you're wanting this sincere, harmonious relationship. But I also wonder with some of these other cards that are coming out, if you feel like someone is, so the violin could also mean someone's like singing a song that's, you know, not materializing, you know. So I'm wondering if that's what you're trying to do here, is like cut through to the heart of the matter and figure out where this is going, because it seems like there's something that's stagnant here, something that's not quite right. What's going on with your person? What is their energy in this situation? All right, let's see here. What's your person's energy? The Strength card. Okay, so they are struggling here to stay on top of things. I'll have to get more clarification on that too. And then what is your person's energy towards you? Like, how are they seeing you, viewing you, feeling, thinking about you? Six of Cups, so they're missing you. I think there may be some sort of a separation here or a pause. And they're missing you. They want to get back together. Here's the Six of Cups card. I can only show some of these cards. Can't show all of them. What is your energy towards your person? What are your thoughts and feelings towards them? How are you viewing them? The Page of Swords. So, I mean, I think it means that you want to hear from them or have a conversation with them, but this Page of Swords card, like the meaning is that these two people need to look at each other. Like, she's looking away, she's biting her lip with anxiety, she's got a handful of bitter almonds, so she's kind of getting sick of waiting, it sounds like to me. And this man is just like enamored by her backside, but not looking at her face or talking with her or anything. Okay, so what's the passing energy? So either you're getting sick of waiting for someone to reach out to you, or your person's getting sick of waiting to hear from you, you know, whichever way you want to slice it. Okay, so passing energy, there's the Devil again. And your current energy, the Sun. Okay, that's fitting with the reading, you know, what's been coming through. So there's some sort of a temptation or a toxic attachment that kind of might have developed here, and with the Sun coming out, it means you're seeking clarity, seeking truth and true love, true connection. And this is the energy between both of you. So y'all are both experiencing this energy. What's coming next? So I think y'all both want to kind of dispel that darkness of the Devil with the light of the Sun. What's the next thing that's coming up between these two and their situation? The Three of Swords. Well, I don't like that. But you know, that's better than being left hanging forever, right? You sometimes it's better to know what the situation is than to just be left hanging forever waiting for somebody who's never going to come around. But I'm going to dig more into that one too, you guys. Don't get too there could be more nuanced meanings, so let's dig into it a little more. And then what's the highest advice here? The Page of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles can be about someone making an offer, and traditionally it's like the pentacles mean like stability, material, pragmatic gifts. But in this image, in this deck, look at that. I mean, there's this man pouring booze down this lady's throat. And I'm not saying that advice to be to go pour booze down some lady's throat. If that's what you're thinking, that is not what I'm thinking. Don't be the devil. Don't go around pouring booze down people's throats. What you need to do is, if you're being approached by somebody in that energy, is to say no and set some boundaries. Okay, so I'm going to get some clarification. And I'm using this Santa Muerte deck to get clarification. Okay, so for group one, we get some clarification on the meaning of this Five of Pentacles card. No, that's too confusing. We have the Six of Swords. So I do sense that you are definitely seeking peace in this situation. I think you're wanting to find harmony and love here, but also I think you're willing to sail away from the situation if you need to find your own peace and comfort. And then why is the Strength card here? Your person is in this strength energy. Ace of Swords, Four of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Let me get one more card here for clarification. The Empress. I think this person misses you and they see you as a beautiful, high value person. But I wonder if they, they're intimidated by that. I wonder if they're intimidated. And I feel like they're not sure that they have enough to offer you. Why is the devil here? The King of Pentacles. So maybe this person has sort of an addiction to material success. It could mean that they're addicted to work, or that they, again, don't feel like they have enough to offer you, and so that's causing like some sort of toxic dynamic. Why is the Three of Swords here? We have the Moon. Just like a lot of uncertainty here. Okay, I'm gonna read from the booklet from the Three of Swords card that came up. Okay, it says pinching, the magic of fire and salt. So it's a scrying salt, cleansing, purifying, protection. Fire also is purifying. And then there's also a bunch of black candles in this card, and black candles neutralize negativity. And then this man is playing a harp, which can be for peace and calm and enchantment. But again, you know, we've got like, I'm wondering if someone here, we've got rhetorica, which can be persuasion, but sometimes that can be used in a toxic way, like a deceptive way. And then Three of Swords with the harp, I mean, I wonder if that's someone, again, playing a song, but it's not materializing in the real world. And then we also have that violin here in the Five of Pentacles. So that kind of worries me, that someone's like trying to be persuasive and tempting here, but not coming through with something solid. And it's not that they don't have feelings for you, because they do. They think that you're a really high value person. Okay, what else does it say about the Three of Swords? It says, you must call attention to disagreements and incompatibilities before finding the courage to end a relationship that is now empty. I don't know. Take it how it resonates, group 2. But if you're feeling like there's some incompatibilities here, then, you know, you've got to do what's best for you. And it's not always easy to do what's best. So we also have the Moon card. I'm going to see what that says. The Moon card is clarifying that Three of Swords. So it says, the female and maternal archetype par excellence. The Moon brings with it receptiveness, intuition, the power of the imagination, ideals, but also mysteries and secrets. It is the card of the subconscious and of dreams, capable of revealing and overcoming the illusion of existence. The Moon's reflection is captured in water, from the tranquility of a lake to the sacred enclosure of a chalice, its essence whole and true. The reverse of this can, however, bring prejudices, isolation, or the keeping of secrets that are too heavy, leading to confusion and madness. The advice of the dead: trust your intuition, but continue to listen and to observe what surrounds you to discern its true nature. Okay, yeah, I think, so what I'm getting here with the Moon, like, listen to your intuition, pay attention to your emotions, but don't let them carry you away. And at the same time, you know, be discerning, pay attention to what is actually being said, what's actually happening, the actions your person is actually taking, and use your mental acuity to be discerning, but also listen to your intuition. You know, you want to pay attention to all three of those things: your mental thoughts, your emotional feelings, and your intuition, that little voice that's whispering in your ear telling you what's happening here. And if your intuition is telling you something that's off, it probably is. Okay? And then we've got this Page of Pentacles card as your highest guidance here. So this card means arousal, and it's the magic of the wine goblet. And the wine goblet is filled with rosé wine. So to me, that means like a moderation between white and red, agape and eros, innocence and sexual passion. So that's your advice, to kind of temper those things. And then it says, transgression leads to excitement, but neither one nor the other can last without some moderation. So be temperate, be moderate. Don't give in to lust and temptation if there's not any agape love there. All right, let's get some, let's do a reading on your person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you, which, you know, I'm already getting some sort of off vibes, but maybe more will come up here to get a little more clarity on the situation. There could be more to it that I haven't seen yet as well. Like I said, I was getting the message that your person thinks very highly of you. I kind of think they just may think they don't have enough to offer. They could be struggling with addiction themselves, with the devil coming up, and that Page of Pentacles where he's trying to get that girl drunk. Like, maybe with the Strength card, they're trying to get on top of that. Get their own life in order. All right, so what are your thoughts towards you, group 2? What are your person's thoughts towards you? I'm going to try this again because too many fell out. All right, so we've got 3 cards there for their thoughts towards you. Let's see, what are your person's feelings towards you? I'll get them all drawn and then I'll reveal them. What are your person's feelings towards you? And what are their intentions? Okay, so for their thoughts, we have the King of Swords and Justice and the Devil. And all these cards came out reversed, which I don't really like. Again, I feel like they're very tempted by you, and I think that your person has a conscience, and they're realizing that there needs to be some balance in the situation, that they need to make a decision. But I feel like they're not really materializing this. Their feelings, we've got Temperance and the Wheel, which came out reversed. So the Wheel is about changes, but it's the Wheel of Fortune, so, you know, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. It could be about luck. And then we've got the Knight of Wands and their feelings right underneath that Devil card. So I think they realize they need to bring balance to the situation, that something's got to give, something's got to change here soon. There's got to be some sort of momentum. But that wheel is upside down again, so that's kind of like that stagnation type of energy. Like the wheel's not moving, but it needs to be moving. And then we've got the Knight of Wands, which is moving really fast, but it's all about that fire that burns hot and then dies out. So I'm afraid that this person is eventually, you know, they're thinking about coming towards you, but not in the best energy. Although we do have Temperance as well. I don't know. Okay, what are their intentions? The Six of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Yeah, like, I'm afraid they're trying to like string you along, y'all. I'm so sorry to say that. I'm sorry to say that, but that is kind of the energy I'm getting here. It's like the stop and go energy. Like they come in all hot and heavy, and then they're gone again. Silence. I hate to say that, you know, but that's how, and I think that they do have feelings for you. They see you as a beautiful person. They want to come back. They want to come back, and they probably will. They want to come back and they probably will. But then what are they going to do next? Are they going to run off again? And the Devil just keeps on coming up. That's the third time he's come up. Okay, so let's get some advice for you. Group 2. Advice for group 2. And just wanted to say too, like, if this situation doesn't sound anything like your situation and everything's great, like, you know, it's possible this could just be an off day. Maybe this is the wrong pile, you know? So don't make this fit if it doesn't seem to already fit with what you already sense is going on. You know what I mean? All right, so your advice, group 2. We've got the Ten of Swords, the Page of Swords, again, coming up. That was your energy towards this person. And like he's writing a letter, communicating. Ten of Swords is about endings. Could also be about betrayal. But it came out reversed, so I think it's kind of like telling you to, you know, that rebirth. Like the lizard had that rebirth energy, like if your tail has gotten pulled off, regenerate it. But you know, you got it. There's always a new beginning. It's just, you know, it's a tough energy to be in though. When your tail gets pulled off or you get stabbed in the back with a bunch of swords. So sit with it, be with those feelings, and then know that there's a sunrise on the horizon, okay? And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, there's a little grasshopper. The little grasshopper reminds me of the intuition. So, you know, it's like Jiminy Cricket. He's like, he whispers in your ear and tells you what to do. And that was your advice that came through earlier when we were talking about the energy between the two of you when the moon card came out. So definitely, if you're feeling that Ten of Swords energy, like this, maybe this needs to end, or maybe you're feeling like it has ended, maybe it's come to a harsh ending, just knowing that it's tough and it's a hard energy to be in, but you know, we all have to go through that in life. It's like one of those karmas that we all have to face. And also knowing that things are going to change. You know, they're not going to stay like that forever. Eventually, there's going to be a new sunrise, a new beginning, something else coming your way, and you're going to keep going, and you're going to regrow your tail. And then Page of Swords, that's about communicating clearly, being honest about what you want, listening carefully. You know, we also have Rhetorica here, so not falling for anybody's stories or songs and all of that stuff. Asking the right questions and pushing back if you have to. And the Ace of Pentacles, seeking strong foundations, something real that can be grounded, listening to your intuition to help guide you towards that. And then I'm going to look this up in the booklet, the Ace of Pentacles. I want to see what else it has to say. So it says, the Ace of Pentacles, more than any other reality, represents all that is tangible on a material plane, from our body to economic resources, announcing success, profit, and health. This card is an active principle that operates on all of the tangible aspects of our existence, bringing happiness and triumph. However, it is also capable of degenerating into avidness, the inability for moderation, and abuse of power if taken to the extreme. The advice of the dead: totally enjoy what you have earned and deserve. Oh, I like that. I like that for you, group 2. You take care of yourself. It's about self-care too, you know, like taking care of yourself and taking good care of yourself, you know. Everything proceeds well, but don't forget to look at things beyond material concerns. Yeah. And maybe this connection is kind of based on a more physical, material level as well. Or like a passion. I feel like there's a lot of passion, but also mixed with just maybe partying and a lot of concerns about finances, at least on your person's part. You know, it seems like they're not sure they have enough to offer in this situation. So it sounds like you are able to take care of yourself, and you need to focus on that. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of quotes and then we'll end with this love spell card. All right. Okay, so this is a Virginia Woolf quote, and it says, "How much better is silence? The coffee cup, the table. How much better to sit by myself, like the solitary seabird that opens its wings on the stake. Let me sit here forever with bare things, this coffee cup, this knife, this fork, things in themselves, myself being myself." Yeah, that's really embodying that advice we were just talking about from the Ace of Pentacles. focusing on those things that you have that support you, and enjoying your solitude when you have it as well. That's what I spend a lot of time alone, and sometimes I feel lonely. Like this reading is like kind of resonating for me too in some ways. And sometimes I feel lonely, and that loneliness gets me. But then other times, I really enjoy the solitude. I enjoy that cup of coffee and just sitting there and watching the birds out the window, and just being able to be myself in my own house. So I feel like you've got the ability to provide those things for yourself too, group two, and hey, that's part of life as well, like developing that strength to be alone and to not deal with anybody's crap, like it's one of those karmic lessons we all have to learn. And some of us have to learn it more times than others. No judgment, y'all. No judgment here. All right, so we also have a quote from Mark Twain, and it says, "If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything." So yeah, when it comes to that Queen of Swords, Rhetorica energy, the truth is always the best policy. You can be persuasive, but it's going to be a lot more persuasive if the words you're saying are actually true. Sometimes people use their rhetoric to deceive others, but the truth has a leg to stand on. Lies fall flat on their face every time. Okay, so let's see what your love spell says. Okay, it says, "Merry meet attraction ritual. Try this surefire attraction spell. Take a man-shaped mandrake root, commonly available at herbalist and metaphysical shops, or any statue, photograph, or figure of a man or woman. Place it on your altar and surround it with red and pink rose petals and candles. Place 2 goblets of red wine beside this arrangement." That's funny because when I was reading about the Page of Pentacles card, the wine goblet showed up as the magical symbol. Okay, place 2 goblets of red wine beside this arrangement and burn candles every night for a week, starting on Friday, Venus's day. Sip from one of the goblets and recite, "Merry stranger, friend of my heart, merry may we meet again. Hail, fair fellow, friend well met, I share this wine and toast you, as we merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again." So I'll leave that up to you, group 2. Usually with these love spells, the ethical advice, if you should choose to follow it, is to not have a particular person in mind when you're doing that work, and to keep it open-ended and let the universe bring you what's best for you. Just saying. All right, well, thank you so much, group 2. I appreciate you being here. I know this reading was a little harsh, and I hope I delivered the messages okay. I know some readers out there are so good. Like, I was listening to the Hermit Tarot last night, and it was like a really triggering reading. I had to pause it a couple of times to regain my composure. But Lorraine at the Hermit Tarot, she's so great at delivering those tough messages with such a gentle heart, and by holding so much space for people. I think that's why she has to take breaks now and then, because it's a lot of energy that she's processing for people. You might want to check out her channel too. She's got she always gives great advice, and she delivers the tough messages, but with so much heart and love. So I hope I did an okay job. I am an Aquarius sun, so sometimes I can be a little blunt, like the Queen of Swords. But I do appreciate you being here, and I hope that you found these messages insightful. And if you would come back again, I'd really love that. If you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I do hope to see you again sometime. Take care. Thank you. Hold on a second. All right. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amazonite tumbled stones. And this clear quartz crystal. And this chunk of rose quartz. All right, so let's get into your love life. Group 3, here's a little packet of cards that you chose. And I'm going to start out with a card from the Tarot de Mantegna Laddenspelder deck. And you have Cosmico. So I'm going to read about Cosmico from the deck, but first let me get this Woodland Warden card out. So for the Woodland Warden's card, we have card number 16, the Crow and Dogwood Intelligence. I love crows. So crows can be messengers. And this card is also kind of related to the Tower card from Tarot, so something could be breaking down, but, you know, for a good reason, for a good cause. All right, let me read about Cosmico, card 33. B33. Oh, okay. So he is part of Group B, which Group B in this deck is about the 7 virtues, but also the parts of the soul. So Cosmico is considered to be like one of the parts of the soul. And it says upright, total control, attention to detail, awareness of one's abilities. And reversed is excessive self-esteem, pride, haughtiness, borea, snobbery, and vainglory. It says, a winged being stands in a clearing bordered by a wood. The left hand is placed on the stomach, an obvious allusion to the nourishment of the body. With his right hand, he holds a sphere which contains the starry sky and the earth. That is to say, the whole cosmos. You know, because these cards are from like the 15th century, so there's the earth and the sky and the underworld, you know, that was it. This contains the sky and the earth, the whole cosmos, to which the name of this spiritual entity alludes. Now let's compare the three entities. So there's the Iliacus, which is seen in profile. I'll show you here. That's Iliaco, so he's in profile. And then Chronico is seen in 3/4. So he's turning. And then Cosmos is facing straight at you, seen from the front, as if heaven and earth can be fully investigated. Perhaps there's also an allusion to the Hermetic doctrine of the unity of the cosmos. What is above is like what is below. So kind of like the magician from the tarot. That is that the same universal law governs all earthly beings and astral bodies. This figure is therefore an invitation to understand this law and to adapt to it. It's a very spiritual pile, you guys. I mean, Cosmico can talk about like astrology, that channeling the energy between the earth and the sky, grounding and connecting with that higher power. And then the crow is a very spiritual animal, and the dogwood is a very spiritual flower. So let's read about that too. So maybe this love connection of yours is really spiritual in nature, like it's here to teach a powerful spiritual lesson, to help you clear out some important karmas. Maybe it has something to do with your dharma. The crow and the dogwood. The crow is an incredibly intelligent bird associated with the power of foresight and the ability to use tools. Today it's often used to signify darkness or foreboding, but modern depictions rarely do the crow justice. According to Norse folklore, the crow is a powerfully positive symbol, meant to remind us of our skills and resources. It says, you are capable of solving any problem. Like the crow, the dogwood has a somewhat confused public image. Its beautiful, light-colored petals convey gentleness and whimsy. Few know that its hard bark and strong frame make it an uncommonly durable tree, able to withstand even the harshest weather. Upright, you have the tools to fulfill your goals and solve any problem that stands in your way. You need only look inward to find wisdom and strength. Reverse, you may feel like a fraud or imposter. The crow is here to remind you of your intelligence, the dogwood, your strength. Your accomplishments are your own, and you deserve the success you've achieved. Questions to ask yourself: what am I knowledgeable about, and what are my creative or professional goals, and how can I accomplish them? Wow, I think you're a really powerful person, Group 3. I think this energy is, I mean, it may be describing your person as well, but I feel like it's more about you for sure. I wanted to get a card from the Four Elements deck, if I can find that. It just suddenly popped in my head, so might as well see what it says. All right, let's see what the 4 elements have to tell us. You had the Storm Spirits flip up. It's a very powerful card, especially with the crow here, the Thunderbird. Let's see if there's anything else that pops up. Fire and water. Wow, that's some temperance energy. F11. Fire and water. On the card, 2 elements are coming together. Working with fire and water can help you to understand alchemy and also the healing properties of the mineral and plant world. Even today, shamans around the world work in harmony with minerals and plants to help them in the healing arts. Link into the vibration of crystals and plants. Shamans have been doing it for thousands of years. To understand the elements, I must be in nature's flow. Shamanic energy. Interesting. And alchemy. Like alchemy, shamanism, the crow, Cosmico. I like it. Sound pretty cool, group 3. Okay, so I'm getting the little voice in my head telling me to use the Medieval Scapini deck for you guys, which is not the deck I had been planning on using, but I guess we'll go with it. I need to temper this lamp. The wick is too long. The fire's burning a little too bright. To control the fire. See the lamp? It's my little lamp I got in Egypt. I love this thing. Okay. Okay, so group number 3. This is a love reading, but like so far the messages seem so like spiritual, so this could end up being kind of more of a self-focused spiritual reading as well, but let's see. Or it could be about a deeply spiritual connection. So group number 1, what is your energy that you're bringing into this connection with your person? what energy is your person bringing to this connection? These cards are so hard to shuffle. My hands are just like 1 centimeter too short for these cards. Oh, okay. And what is your person's energy towards you? What are their thoughts, feelings? How do they view you in this connection? Okay, we have 2 things that popped out here. What's your energy towards your person? How are you viewing them? What are your thoughts and feelings? Okay, I'm gonna flip these all over for y'all later. And then what's the passing energy between you two? The passing energy of the situation. Passing energy. Okay. And what's the current energy? Okay, let's take this away. The current energy between you. And what is coming next? Ooh. Okay. And then what is the highest guidance and advice in your situation? All right, let's see what we've got here. So group number 3, your energy in the situation is coming through as the Page of Cups. So kind of a exploratory energy, opening up your emotions. It's interesting too, because on his cup, there's it's a cup of water, but the image on the cup is like this couple engaged in this fiery, passionate embrace. And we have that fire and water card coming up too. I'm going to read from the book about that because I think it talks about that cup. And then your person's energy is the Ten of Cups. That's great. And this Ten of Cups shows like a city, so it kind of gives me almost Ten of Pentacles vibes, like it's about that foundation. It's about emotions and happiness, but this is also showing like that foundation and stability in the community as well. And your person's energy towards you, we had 2 cards come up. We have the Ace of Pentacles, so a new beginning, something practical, something grounded. But that's also clarified with the 7 of Cups. So the 7 of Cups can be about like illusions and fantasies. So I feel like maybe your person is kind of picturing this long-term situation, but you're kind of like, well, we're just getting started here. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Like your person wants to make this practical, grounded situation. They're kind of lost in their fantasy about how, like, there's this picture of this couple growing old together. Like your person's already like picturing you guys growing old together. retiring, you know, and you're just like, well, I mean, let's just take this one step at a time, explore our emotions. And your energy towards this person is the Emperor. So I don't know if you're seeing them as the Emperor or if you're seeing yourself as the Emperor. It kind of depends on, you know, maybe your gender. But you're seeing a lot of stability in this situation and thinking about it too. Okay, so you have your mind towards stability as well. But I think it's maybe a little bit different. The Emperor also has like a crow built into his head gear thing he's wearing. So there's another crow. So you may be seeing this person as like a divine soulmate with the Emperor coming up. I think you may be seeing this as a potential divine connection for sure, because the way the reading started with that spirituality coming through. We've also got that elemental energy here with the Emperor. See at the bottom of his throne, we've got the 4 elements represented, and I felt called to draw this elemental card for you guys, which I didn't do for the other groups. There's a lot of like alchemical symbolism here for you guys. Also with the 7 of Cups, there's a lot of alchemical, you know, jars and, and things, gadgets. All right, I think I'm going to move on and might come back to this later. So what's the passing energy in your situation? We have the 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands is about hard work, responsibility. Like maybe you both put a lot of energy into this. And current energy is the Fool. It did come up reversed. The Fool's about new beginnings. So I wonder if maybe you're contemplating a new beginning for yourself, or trying to figure out whether to take a leap of faith in this situation. I feel like there's already been a long road here, so it's interesting that there's been a long road, but now we're at a precipice where we're thinking about taking a leap of faith and a new beginning. But maybe trying to approach the matter with a beginner's mind as well. And then the energy that's coming forth is the Death energy. And I like this Death card because it's showing death in the dancing pose of Lord Shiva. And look at that crow. There's another crow. Crows are associated with Lord Shiva too. So death can represent transformation and change. Especially with Lord Shiva being here, it makes me think of like Kundalini awakening with all the symbolism that you've been getting. It's like, I feel like this connection is serving some sort of a higher purpose for you. Like, it's really spiritually focused. I don't think it means like a literal death. It could potentially mean an ending to the connection, but I feel more like it's about some sort of deep spiritual transformation. I really feel like that's what this is about, like some sort of a Kundalini awakening or spiritual realization. And then for your highest advice, we have the Page of Coins coming out. And it did come out in reverse. So it's sort of like advising you to stay grounded, you know. I feel like there's a lot of spiritual energy here, but it's really important to keep that grounded. Stay practical. Can we get some clarification on this page of coins? Okay, page of coins. I just want one card to help me get some clarity on this page of coins for the highest advice for group number 3. The 8 of Swords. And in this 8 of Swords, the devil's creeping around in the background. So it's about not getting yourself entangled into anything or trapped. Don't get yourself trapped. Stay grounded, stay practical, stay aware of reality. Keep your feet grounded. And then can we get some clarification on the Page of Cups for our person's, for your group 3, for your attitude and your energy in this connection? The Hermit. Yeah, so you've really got like a self-focused energy here, which is cool. Like I feel like you are trying to stay grounded and temperate and to be thoughtful and mindful about, you know, surrendering to a higher power on your path. Leaving it up to Lord Shiva. I like that. Give it up to Lord Shiva. Memento Mori, Amor Fati. So let me look up the Page of Cups in the booklet for the Medieval Scapini Tarot. So it says, a young drummer dressed in the costume of the Swiss guards of the Vatican stands in a green field. In the background is the monastery of Mount Athos. You can look that up. His face is meek and submissive, but in his hand, that Mount Athos, it's like a hermitage. Like I don't think women were even allowed on the monastery for a long time. So that we had the hermit card coming up too. That's why I interjected with that. His face is meek and submissive, but in his hand is a yellow and red cup with an erotic scene of 2 winged lovers kissing. A drum hangs from his shoulder, and in his right hand is a blue copybook and a quill pen. So this could mean a studious and intent person, reflectiveness, meditativeness, loyalty, willingness to offer services and efforts toward a specific goal, a helpful person, a trustworthy worker. In the shadow side, it could also mean inclination, deviation, susceptibility, temporary distraction, seduction, and a flatterer. Okay. Yeah, so I really feel like you're taking some time to reflect into yourself. Those closed eyes are kind of like downcast, and let me see if I can show you the Hermit. Like he's looking down at his candle, focused on himself. And I kind of said that at the beginning, maybe this is going to be more of a self-focused reading. I also feel like some people might be watching all the piles, and like today it's like group 1 was like the light side, group 2 is like the shadow side, and group 3 is the spiritual lesson side of things, if you want to look at it that way. If you're feeling like there's multiple aspects to this situation. I'd like to get some more information on the Emperor. I'm looking into, I want to know what how you're feeling in this situation, group 3. You're probably here to figure out how the other person's feeling. I want to know about you. Oh, the Fool came out again. New beginnings. Definitely like that spiritual. The Fool is also a very spiritual card. Like, you know, he's on his journey. Fool is on his journey. And it always seems like a new beginning for the Fool, right? He's got that beginner's mind. All right, I'm going to read, I feel like we all know what the Fool card means, right? It's about new beginnings, watching out for danger, but taking a leap of faith. That's what's coming through for the Fool, at least right now. But I would like to get a little more information on this Emperor card, especially because it looks like there's like this crow thing in his head, and the crow keeps coming up. And yeah, I want to know what his significance is in this reading. And this showed up in the position of your energy towards your person. So, you know, this could be the way you're viewing your person, or it could be the way you feel towards them. So you, maybe if you're more of a masculine person, maybe you feel like you're the emperor for your person, or something like you want to be your person's emperor, something like that. So it says, many details point to the emperor's rank as supreme ruler of the elements. The awesome and potentially destructive powers of the 4 elements are represented by pictures of apocalyptic landscapes, showing winds for air, volcanic land for earth, burning buildings for fire, and ships sinking for water. So the emperor is very powerful. He's got some control over the elements, but wow, I mean, it's power of destruction, right? Those are some destructive powers. Gracing the platform are 4 creatures: a he-goat, a lion, a dog, and the creation of Frankenstein. Where are they? Gracing the platform. I'm not seeing that. Let me know in the comments if you see what they're talking about. The goat, the lion, the dog, and the Frankenstein monster? I don't see it. I don't know. Okay, let me know if you can see it. The platform and its symbols represent the elemental chaos which the emperor rules and puts to order. The yellow cube on which the ruler sits is draped with a fiery red robe. The colors are of power and activity. The emperor himself is dressed in armor designed after that depicted on the sepulchre of Emperor Rudolph of Habsburg, and he wears a large hat lined in ermine. Is that how you say it, ermine or ermine? topped at the crown with pyramids and decorated with the imperial eagle. Oh, it's an eagle. Imperial eagle. That's Germany? Oh, that's from Germany. It's from like 19th century Germany, I think. I don't know. This is a deck. On his breast are the sun and the moon. A golden braid, a token from the Empress, is draped at his neck. The tulip that appeared with the Fool and the Magician appears at the back of his throne. He holds a lily-headed scepter with a crescent moon at its handle. The facial features of the Emperor are those of Stuart R. Kaplan, president of U.S. Game Systems. That's the publishers for the deck. Okay, so he's the patron of the deck. Divinatory meanings: worldly power, confidence, wealth, stability, authority, indomitable spirit, leadership, maturity, war-making tendencies, paternity, father, brother, husband, male influence, direct pressure, domination of intelligence and reason over emotion and passion, patriarchal figure, desire to increase domination in every direction, masculinity, worthiness to exercise authority, a capable and knowledgeable person, and willingness to listen to counsel. In its reverse, it could mean immaturity, ineffectiveness, lack of strength, indecision, inability to make progress, weak character, feebleness, and failure to control petty emotions. But I feel like he's in more of a strong, upright energy here. And that Fool is about potential too. That's clarifying the Emperor. So maybe there's like that potential for that strong foundation here. And it feels like your person is also looking for that strong sense of community, stability, but they're kind of getting lost in illusion with it and daydreaming about it. Whereas the Emperor is trying to be a little more grounded in reality. And that's I think that's you, honestly. Maybe. It kind of depends. It could be reversed. Like your person thinks you're fantasizing too much and they think they're more grounded in reality, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Kind of depends on which role you're playing in the situation. All right, so let's get some tarot to talk about your person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you. And I'm going to use the Santa Muerte deck for that. Oh my gosh. This is another one that's hard to shuffle. The Scapini cards are too long, and then this deck, the cards are too thick, so it's... Or maybe my hands are just too small. That could be it. All right. I'm going to do a little split shuffle here to get it shuffled really good. Shuffled back together. Okay. So group number 3, what are your person's thoughts about you? their feelings towards you? Feelings. And what are their intentions towards you, group 3? Felt like I shouldn't take down. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, still on, still on. I thought I blew the lamp out, but it's still on. Okay, so group number 3, what are your person's thoughts towards you? Ace of Pentacles, again, that came out in the other spread. 10 of Swords, and the King of Swords. Well, I think they're wanting this to ground in reality, but I also think they're a little fearful of you, maybe. Group 3, that Emperor energy is pretty intense that you're coming through with there. They may be afraid of betrayal or afraid that this is over. Or there could be some sort of betrayal or wounding from their past that is affecting the way they're thinking about this connection. I also feel like they're trying to tune into their intuition here. That little grasshopper always reminds me of the intuition. And then with the King of Swords, again, I think that's also expressing the sort of fear they have. Like, they're thinking of you, but it's like they're waiting for your decision or something. Like, I think they're afraid that this sword is going to drop on them. I don't know. That's how I'm feeling. I think you're kind of an intimidating person, group 3. I think your person might be a little scared of you. All right, how are they feeling about you? Page of Wands. So they're excited about this adventure. Knight of Swords. He's swallowing the sword. Trying to show off for you, maybe get your attention. And then we've got the Ace of Swords. So it's not, not a lot of Cups energy coming through here. It's like they're interested, they want your attention, and they want to talk to you. I feel like they have a desire to communicate with you. Especially that Page of Wands also here is holding a scroll, so that's communication. And then the swords are usually always about communication too. They want to talk to you. They're afraid of you and they want to talk to you. Okay. I'm finding all these readings really relatable today too, by the way. It's kind of funny. Okay, so Santa Muerte. This is their intentions towards you. Santa Muerte, the death card. We had death come out as the coming energy too. Lots of transformation coming through. I need to read what the decks say, the booklets say about those cards too. And then the High Priestess. And look, that scythe is in both of those cards. Well, the High Priestess moon, it looks kind of like that scythe. So I feel like I don't feel like your person is intending to move towards you. I think they're trying to surrender to this connection. And then the Four of Cups. And this Four of Cups, he looks so disappointed. That's definitely not an energy of them coming forward. It's more of like an energy of disappointment that things didn't come through. Aww, sad. It's like they're waiting on you. That's what I'm feeling, group 3. I don't know if you're like a masculine person in this connection, but I feel like it's like one of those things, like I almost feel like the ball's in your court. Unless I'm just getting the energies like reversed here or something. Santa Muerte. Or it could be that I'm getting so much like mirroring and back and forth in this connection because it's such a spiritual connection, right? So it could also be that, you know, maybe maybe you're the feminine and they're the masculine person, but like they're still not planning to take action because that Hermit card came through and that Page of Cups was very inward focused. I don't know. So take it how it resonates for you. Sorry, I'm getting it all mixed up now between the two sides of your reading. Okay, so Santa Muerte, a profound transformation, a renewal, a true and proper revolution. If it is life that generates death, then death generates life. She's got that little cradle there. We are connected to all that surrounds us, to the people who have come before us, and to those who will come from the cradle to the tomb, from the coffin to the womb, in a continual exchange, in a continual regeneration of opposites. Not of opposites, but of complementary elements. Santa Muerte brings with it new projects, changes, cuts, and the necessary abandonment of what we keep stationary and entangled, like the past or suffocating ties. These changes, however, are not always pain-free, but can bring with them trauma, anger, violence, and loss, including an immobility where we refuse to take on these transmutations. The advice of the dead: accept the changes that are offered in front of you without fear of cutting ties and cutting yourself off from your old positions, old ideas, or preconceptions. A mutation is imposing itself. So death is just that really spiritual energy about, you know, we had that card come up about shamanism. Like that's the shamanic process too, going through the death and the rebirth. So I feel like you and your person both have that spiritual energy, like that animist, shamanic connection with your environment and with the world and with your approach to life. This isn't the most lovey-dovey reading, but I also feel like it's really powerful. Like there's a lot of power in this situation. I do feel like a conversation would be a good thing for you guys to have. Your person is really wanting that, but it's like they've got the High Priestess and the Four of Cups and the Santa Muerte and their intentions. So they're not planning to initiate that conversation. That's what I'm seeing. Even though they want it, it's like they're waiting on you. That's how I feel about this, but they're surrendering to the universe on it too. So maybe they're just waiting, but okay, so the High Priestess. I want to see what the book says about her too. Oh, I was gonna hold on before we get to that. I want to read about that Shiva card from the Scapini deck. Can I find it again? It was the Death card, but it was also Lord Shiva. Your reading's taking a long time, I think, but that's okay. There he is. Right at the top. Okay. So I'm going to read this one to you. It says, a skeleton dances on blue ground holding a scythe whose handle used to be a human spine. The pose of death resembles that of Shiva, Hindu god of destruction. A raven, symbol of decomposition, glides nearby. The landscape is strewn with human hands and feet, but the hands indicate that new energy is coming forth, as emphasized by the green plants below. 3 heads are in the foreground. On the right is a woman's head, and in the middle a child's. The artist admits that he too is subject to the great power of death, and his portrait appears with his palette in the bottom left corner. So it means transformation, clearing away the old to make way for the new, risk for renewal, unexpected change, alteration, abrupt change of the old self, though not necessarily physical death. The ending of a familiar situation or friendship, the loss of income or financial security, illness, possibly even death. I don't think that's what this is about though. A streak of bad luck, a loan that will not be repaid. And in its reverse, it could mean stagnation, immobility, slow changes, partial change, inertia, and narrow avoidance of a serious accident. So, yeah, neither one of these, I don't think either one showed up reversed. Well, I could be wrong, but I think the message is that we don't want that partial change. We want a complete change. You've got to go through the whole process here, group 3, and I think you're the kind of people who have the wherewithal to accomplish that. Okay, I'm going to read about the High Priestess. And these are their intentions towards you. So I think that your person is definitely viewing this as a very transformative connection. But I think that they're just like really focused on the spiritual side of it. And I think you are too. Okay, the High Priestess represents wisdom, such as the rigor and commitment to attain this through study, evaluation, management, and also through the consultation and closeness of a female figure, maternal and mature. She suggests a period of waiting or perhaps isolation, during which it is possible to think deeply about what we need and to then grasp the key that will open what was previously accumulated. The risk of this process, however, is to remain too closed within oneself, to accumulate perhaps secrets, and to then be prey to pride, laziness, or passivity, much like a bird that silently observes from above, from its point of view, without acting. And you know that Seven of Cups was coming up in your person's energy towards you. So I think sometimes the High Priestess also can kind of get lost in illusion if she gets too up in the clouds and not grounded enough. The advice of the dead: proceed with study and meditate on the best road that will take you where you can realize your project without forgetting to value what you are accumulating or keeping. We got a little bit of a hermit energy there too, That showed up for you, and now it's kind of showing up for your person. The inward journey. It's like for both of you, it's like I think you're both like going through a transformation to like level up in your spiritual journey. You want to come to each other as people who have been through the process from the caterpillar to the butterfly, right? And you want to come together as butterflies. Maybe you're both kind of going through a little bit of like a dark night of the soul. Four of Cups. Okay. The number of stability united with this suit of the emotions brings an excess of security, a monotonous rigidity, and what is stagnant ends up rotting or tiring. Yeah, there's a lot of caution against stagnation and towards going through that decomposition process, that shamanic process of transformation. It's good to find the right balance that transforms the stagnation, the apathy, and the boredom into harmony and a healthy restlessness. The moment has come to make a decision before what you have obtained ends up boring you and stagnating. So I feel like you're both like, going through a little bit of a rough patch within your own spiritual adventure, and maybe wanting to find more joy in life to connect with. But it's like you've got to go all the way through the dark before you can get into the light, with you guys especially. You're on that journey. I'm going to get a card from the Yogic Path Oracle for y'all. All of these readings are a little bit different. I'm not doing the same exact thing for everyone. So you guys seem to be on a little bit more of a spiritual path here. And what's interesting too is that, it's not all lovey-dovey. There's like this sort of, needing to go into the dark to come back into the light. But I also feel like both of y'all are really calm. Maybe your person may be a little bit lost in illusion and fantasy. So there's a need to ground that. You might be leaning a little too hard into that Emperor energy. There's a need to, let go and surrender a little bit, or vice versa, depending on how you're taking this. But I also feel like, you're both aware of that and working towards it and taking responsibility for yourselves. It seems like you're really taking a lot of spiritual responsibility for your own life, and that's really nice. I like that. Both really strong people. Okay, so what advice do we have for group 3? We have Atman, that's the individual soul, and Tejas. So Tejas is like intelligence and radiance, I want to say. Let me see what it says about that. And we had the crow too, which was intelligence. I think that's what Tejas means. 47. The subtle essence of intelligence and courage, radiant and glowing. Your intellect and courage glistens in your eyes. You have a radiant glow to you that reflects your passion within. You are on this planet for a reason and are deeply committed to your higher purpose. You carry a spark of energy that uplifts those around you, and you're a natural-born leader. As a warrior of love, you are committed to raising the vibration of this planet, even if it sparks controversy. By being your highest self and committing to your truth, you encourage others to do the same. Continue sharing your spark with others who have lost theirs. Yeah. You're deep. You guys are deep. Atman. So Atman is the infinite aspect of the soul. Blessed soul, you have now begun to see glimpses of the divinity that exists within you. Oh, I gotta tell you guys. And there's so much more to experience. You are filled with limitless potential and have realized that the only obstacles that exist are within the mind. You have reached a deeper connection to your highest self, the immortal aspect of your existence, the very seed of your soul, Atman. Your meditation has unveiled hidden depths to your true being and allowed you to experience the vastness that exists inside you. You have become aware that you are a microcosm of the greater macrocosm. Oh, remember, like, as above, so below? We were talking about that. A reflection of the universe. Now bring this expansiveness into the everyday and watch your life unfold. Yeah, it's like the cards are really telling you to lean into your own journey, your own spiritual education, and like your intelligence too. So like studying, reading up on things and checking your sources, doing fact checking, and also listening to your intuition, trying to connect with that higher power. Allowing yourself to sit with the difficult emotions. Okay, I've got some quotes here. Danielle Steele, never lose hope, and if you can, find the courage to love again. Okay. And Julianne Moore, you have to be in yourself, but engage with the world and see what's going on. And that self-focus, still connecting with the world, facing reality, staying grounded. Don Miguel Ruiz, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Okay. And Lenny Bruce. You have to look him up. I think he was an old comedian from like the 40s or 50s. Kind of a rascal, if I recall. I don't know. Anyway, it says, guys are like dogs. They keep coming back. Ladies are like cats. Yell at a cat one time and they're gone. Well, isn't that old-fashioned? It's not necessarily true. But that's what Lenny Bruce said. All right, so let me read to you this love spell that I've got for you guys. It says, Gypsy Love Herb Charm. Many a gypsy woman has enjoyed the fruits of long-lasting love by reciting the following charm while mixing rye and pimento in a dish shared with the object of affection. While stirring these amorous foods, declaim, rye of earth, pimento of fire, Eden surely lights desire, serve to he whose love I crave, and his heart I will enslave. Don't try to enslave anybody's heart. I think you guys know that. The goal here is to be free. I feel like I need one more thing. How about an animal spirit oracle card? Tarantula. Okay, let's see what this says and then we'll close it up here. This is a fire, a creature of fire. It says, at a crossroads, claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or a routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. Oh, that's like you guys. Y'all, I feel like you and your person like know each other's soul, but I think you're just both going through like an individual part of your journey to find your dharma, and part of that means addressing lots of karmas and renana and things like that. I've been following Dr. Robert Svoboda. He has a YouTube channel, and he probably has a talk about karma on there. He also has like a podcast called Living with Reality, and I know he's got a talk about karma on there and renana bandhanas, so you might check that out. He also has a book about karma, free will, and destiny, fate, free will, and destiny. He's got a lot to say about dharma and karma and all of that, so I definitely think you guys should check him out. He's a very spiritual person. Let's see. The tarantula, however, patient and calm, like an old friend who knows your inner soul, it already knows you'll choose wisely. I know you will, Group 3. You guys are very wise. It says, when in balance, it follows your intuition. Yeah, listen to your intuition. When out of balance, it hesitates and over-intellectualizes. And to bring into balance, daily journaling. Oh yeah, that's cool. There was also a lot of symbolism, like, well, I think that the Page of Cups had a journal, and it might have popped up in a few other places for you guys too. The High Priestess is, reading a book, so. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that you got something out of this reading, found it maybe entertaining, hopefully insightful. And if you like my content, if you'd subscribe, hit the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Hope to see you here again sometime. And good luck to you on your journey. It sounds like you're a really cool person who is not afraid to face reality and do what it takes to follow your dharma. So congratulations on that, and best of luck to you in your journey. Thank you. Take care.